Suzanne Grimshaw, and I'm a licensed clinical social worker. Adoption is a great and wonderful thing in a lot of ways. It's one of those opportunities for potential parents to bring a child into this world and have them become part of their family. And so there's lots of great things that come from adoption, but there's also a lot of consequences that I think we don't necessarily think of right off the bat. We're just more concerned about the child and its finding a home. We've had family members who have struggled with infertility, and they've been able to adopt children, and it's made a huge difference in their life. It gave them that child that they weren't able to conceive on their own. And oftentimes, children that are placed in adoptive homes are placed with parents that are a little bit older because they've typically been trying for several years and trying lots of different ways in which to have a child of their own and are unsuccessful. And so a lot of the parents that I've known and have worked with are a little bit older, and they're financially typically in a nice stable place with themselves.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Ben. When we found out that we were going to struggle with infertility, we had to make a choice. We were either going to separate or we were going to come closer together. And that definitely brought us closer together as we prayed, cried, got angry together, got frustrated together, and then found peace together. I don't think we could have done that by ourselves. If we had separated, it wouldn't have worked.
Well,
Sure.
and I've said this before, but both of our kids' birth moms, I think, were looking for us as a team, and I don't think either one of us would have, or either one of them would have picked us by ourselves. They wanted us for what we could bring to this family as a team, and we needed to be that unified front for our children's sake, and that's what our birth moms were looking for. That's why they were seeking adoption. And so if our relationship hadn't have been put first and remembered that we still want to love each other and have a strong marriage regardless if we ever became parents or not, then we wouldn't have been able to fulfill the promises to our kids' birth moms that we had. So it's always been our first priority.
And so adoption for us was a natural choice. We fell into it. And meeting our children, we adopted our 9-year-old daughter at birth and our 6-year-old son at birth, and meeting their birth moms and their families was a natural fit. It was a natural fit.
Yeah, and we were really fortunate. We had very positive adoption experiences, and we just really love our kids' birth moms. And so for us, there's nothing but positive. I mean, there's still challenges along the way, and it's like the definition of bittersweet. Adoption is very, the bitter comes from seeing this woman that you love in this unbelievable pain and torment, and you can't take that away. You almost feel guilty that you're causing it. And then on the other hand, incredible, sweet, euphoria, this joy because you've got this baby that you've dreamed about and you feel connected to, and you know that it's your child, but it's a complicated process, and it's nothing is simple with adoption. There are a lot of layers to it, and one day or one moment in a day you can feel one thing and then the next moment feel something different. It's very, very complicated. So even with our situation where our adoptions were great, we're really blessed, there's still a lot of emotions involved, and it's every adoption is different. So even though we've adopted twice, and I worked in the adoption field for several years, there are no two adoptions that are the same.
Another thing that was overwhelming, I'm trying to remember what it's called, the birth letter and the
Dear birth parent letter, the profile.
And the profile. So it's common in adoption to create a profile as your family, to allow birth moms to look at them and see if they want to select you as the parents or the family to raise the children that are going to birth. That was overwhelming because you have to have the balance of not bragging about yourself, not selling yourself.
It almost feels like a job interview,
And you want to have that balance of being sensitive but also being honest and saying, hey, here's what we can provide, here's what we're looking for, and matching that up. And that's going into the unknown, which I think was definitely overwhelming. And as we've talked to other friends, both birth parents and adoptive parents, that's a common theme. The birth profile, it's an important step, but you don't know necessarily what to do, and there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Well, and I was just going to say, I think at the beginning of that process, you feel like you want to have all the right answers, and you want to appeal and, come across so, appealing and attract these birth parents, or expectant parents, really. They haven't placed, they're not birth parents yet. And you're almost like thinking how you want to present yourself. And one thing you learn as you go along is you just have to be yourself, because that's who they're looking for, and the right person is looking for you. And so there's not a right or wrong way to present yourself. There's not a right or wrong, clothes to wear, pictures to put in a profile. It's all just representing yourself, and then whoever you are is who she wants, when it's that situation that's right for you. And so you kind of relax as you get a little bit more experience and realize, you don't want to be fake. You don't want to be like everyone else. You want to be you, so that your baby can find you through their birth mom. And that kind of takes pressure off when you realize that. I think just the capacity to love without knowing anyone personally, just kind of that instant, unconditional love. Like with our daughter's birth mom, the second we met her, we just had such deep compassion and love for her, and didn't really know anything about her, but there was just that connection right away. I had never really experienced anything like that before without, getting to know someone and knowing why I loved them, I guess. But with her, there was just an instant, bond, and we knew we were meant to be in each other's lives. And so that was a new experience that adoption the dynamic that adoption brought into our lives.
Amber. I'm from South Carolina. I'm 27 years old. Adoption for me is not more like a permanent final thing. It's more of sharing and extending your family. That is going to be a part of your family for the rest of your life. The adopted parents.
Brianna. To me, I got pregnant, and I'm not really young, and I'm already a single mother. So I had to make a choice of whether to continue to have myself struggle and my kids struggle, emotionally, financially, everything, or to give that baby another life for someone else who could give it more attention, more financial support, more emotional support than I could at the time. So it was giving human beings more.
Well, basically, I didn't really know anything about it because in South Carolina, we don't do adoption. It's the Bible Belt state, so anything like that's really frowned upon. So I Googled it, and when I Googled it, Guardian Angel Adoption Agency came up, and I read their bio and what they did, and I contacted them through the 800 number. They have a 24/7 hotline, and I talked to the girl, and she kind of explained it to me, and then flew me out here. Flew myself and my 5-year-old son out here to Salt Lake.
It's funny, but I found him in the phone book. I found him in the phone book. They answered my questions so well. When I just reached out, because I just wanted to know some answers at first, to be like, is this the direction I want to go? And they were just so attentive and so great with explaining things to me that helped me make my decision better.
Because I already have a soon-to-be 5-year-old son, and I'm a single mom of him, and I'm a very realistic person, so I knew that it would be more of a struggle to raise him and a new baby. So, realistically, there's families out there that deserve to be parents that just can't genetically do it. No, tell him. Are we doing adoption?
We're doing adoption.
What does adoption mean?
Adoption means we have to give her to somebody.
And does that mean you get to never see her again?
No. We get to see her and see pictures and talk to her.
Is that okay with you?
Yes.
What you're doing, some people might not agree with it, and they might try to shame you for it, but you have to be more of a courageous person to have a child and place it for adoption than you do of having a mother, of being
it to like, you know, give it a try, it was a really beautiful experience for me. There was grief and loss, but there was so much joy and hope for everyone's future. And just to give somebody that, it was ultimately a really great experience. And I still have times that are hard, you know, but like when I was leaving the hospital and the adoptive parent, she gave me a hug and she said, "You've changed my life." And at that moment, it didn't really sink in, but like it does to me now, where I'm like, I really changed someone's life. Like I made a difference, and I made a difference in everybody's life. So it was very empowering, and it made me like, it was like I did the right thing.
Was exact opposite. They were loved so much that their birth parents wanted something better than they felt they could provide at the time. They felt like, you know, it was something that needed to happen.
Hey, boss.
I just jumped off the swing.
You jumped off the swing?
Uh-huh. So high.
Excellent. Do you know what Mom's talking about?
Uh-huh.
What is she talking about?
What?
Talking about your adoption.
Do you know who your birth mom is?
Megan.
Yeah. And do we like Megan? Do we love Megan?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Does Megan love you?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So that's always been something that's, you know, really important that we instill in our kids. Like, you are very loved by not just us, but your birth parents as well. If they didn't love you, you wouldn't be here. Because adoption is a decision that is not hard. It's not easy. It's very hard. You know, there are a lot of other options that the birth mom can choose. She's making it out of love, and hopefully in the end, her life is blessed as well. But her main motivation is for the child, not for herself. Even when things are going great, yeah. With our daughter's situation, it was really unique because she was already born. She was about 3 hours old when we first got the call that her birth mom was interested in talking to us. And so it was about 9 o'clock at night. You know, we're sitting there folding laundry, watching Law and Order, and we get this call that, you know, there's this baby that's been born, this woman that wants to meet us. And so we rushed out to the hospital and we met her, and then at first we met her. She was alone in the room. The baby was in the nursery, and then they brought her in, and it's, you don't know at that point, like, she hadn't specifically chosen us yet or anything, but we already loved that baby just instantly, and we were so overcome with the love for her, the fear of if we were going to get chosen, the compassion for her birth mom and what she was going through. I mean, just every emotion you can imagine we were feeling in that moment. And then she, you know, obviously did choose us, told us that she wanted us to raise her child, and that's overwhelming in and of itself. We stayed at the hospital as late as they'd let us. They finally kicked us out about 1 a.m. And we didn't have anything for a baby. It was our first child. We had a car seat, and that was it. So we ran to Walmart because it was the only thing open 24 hours. And we kind of raided their baby section at 2 in the morning. And I remember looking at each other and going, what do babies need?
Yeah, what do we need?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about overwhelmed. Just choosing formula alone. You know, there were like 20 different types of formula. And we were like, where do we start? And we said, let's just get through the week. She was born on Monday night. And we were saying, let's just get through the weekend, and then we'll evaluate and see what else we need at that point. And yeah, overwhelmed doesn't even begin to describe that. But anytime, I think if you're doing it right and you realize the magnitude of the situation, and you're responsible for this child's life, and you're making these very sacred, important promises to this woman, then it should be overwhelming. If it's not, then you're probably not taking it seriously enough. Do you think adoption is a good thing?
Yeah.
Does it mean you just have lots and lots of extra people who love you?
Yeah.
One thing that I think most people probably don't know or don't appreciate is how difficult the decision to place or to raise a child is for a birth mom. And if you ever run into a situation where you have a friend or a family member that is considering adoption, to be more than sensitive and to understand some people are going to choose to parent and some people are going to choose to place, and that's their choice and their right.
Adoption is not the right answer for everyone, you know, and that's okay.
And sometimes I think people with good intentions want to push or inappropriately influence their friends or family members to make a certain decision, and that doesn't make it work. that's not healthy for anybody, and it actually causes a lot more pain down the road.
It needs to be that woman's decision because she's the one who's living with the consequences for the rest of her life. It's no one else. And when I worked, with birth moms and counseling, these expectant mothers, and that's what I would say all the time. You are the one living with these consequences at the end of the day. Not your sister, not your mom, not your cousin, not your best friend. It's you. And you parent, you're the one getting up in the middle of the night. You place, you're the one getting up in the middle of the night because your arms are empty. Either way, it's you're the one dealing with it. You have to have peace with it for yourself. And they can't be pushed either way. And they need to be honored and that given the respect to be okay with that decision of their life, whatever they choose. And just to remember that our kids are just normal kids, They get in trouble like every other kid does. They get into mischief. They need extra love like other kids do, the dynamics might be a little different, but at the end of the day, we're a normal family with normal kids. And
with normal problems.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a different story of how we found each other. But we're all just normal people. It's not the big, dramatic, controversial thing that it once was. And so we're always open to talk about it, educate people, but at the end of the day, this is just us.